Hello and welcome to the latest Leading for School Improvement Coffee Break session with me, Dr. Karen Woodson. I invite you to grab a cup of coffee, spend about 6 minutes with me as I pull back the curtain just a little bit on the mysteries around EL staffing. This particular LSI Coffee Break is intended for any current or prospective leader who is interested in understanding how to lead in a high EL impact school. Welcome to this coffee break. Staffing is based on the official K through 5 ESOL enrollment in your school as of October 31st. The October 31st date is an official snapshot of the enrollment that is taken for every school in the district, that is reported to the state and also reported to the district's budget office. That is the official number that we're going to base our staffing on for the following year. So in your current school, the EL staffing level that you have now is based on the ESOL enrollment count as of October 31st of 2019. It was that snapshot that fed into the ESOL staffing you have for school year 2021. Second, staffing formulas are applied to the official ESOL enrollment count to generate EL teacher staffing for the following year, as I just explained. Let me clarify, though, that if you have a pre-K program, if you're in elementary school and you have a pre-K program, at least in my state, well, this is Title III, basically. The EL program is K-5. So we're not getting funding or staffing to serve pre-K students who may be ELs. It's not to say you don't serve them, it's just that they are not factored into the enrollment count upon which the staffing allocation is based. That enrollment count really is K-5. Third point, EL teacher staffing is intended to support the delivery of ELD instruction. At times, leaders in schools like to get real creative around staffing, kind of throw everything in a pot, and you kind of get lost in the sauce with our staffing. And sometimes we don't allocate our EL staffing as we need to allocate it to comply with federal mandates and state mandates. And so please understand that our EL teacher staffing is only intended to support ELD instruction. It's not intended to support everything that an EL needs. Why is that? Because, and that leads me to my fourth point, the EL students count twice in your school, all right? So we count our EL students within the school's overall overall comprehensive enrollment. So every single body in the school on September 30th, ELs included, they're going to count for the comprehensive count that we use for comprehensive staffing. We count EL students a second time, and they get additional staffing for the ELD instruction that they are federally mandated to have. So really, EL students are counted twice, once again, in the school's overall enrollment count, and again for EL services. Now, keep in mind that there's a difference by 1 month of the school's comprehensive enrollment count. In other words, you heard me talk about the October 31st being like a snapshot date for EL staffing, but for comprehensive staffing that a school receives, The snapshot date is typically September 30th. I know in our state, I'm in Maryland, it's September 30th. And whatever the official enrollment is for all students in a school on September 30th, that will factor into the school's comprehensive staffing. How many general educators you have, how many specials teachers, those who teach art, music, and PE, how many counselors you have. That's comprehensive staffing. EL staffing is not included in that. We are included when we're counted that second time on October 31st for the delivery of ELD instruction. That is what the ESOL staffing is for. Oh, our staffing, whenever you budget, whether it's for staffing, for people, which take up the biggest part of your budget, but if you're staffing for materials and you're staffing for consultants, perhaps that you're bringing into the school, whatever it is that you're doing around budget has to be aligned. It has to have perfect alignment to your school improvement plan. So in the leadership realm, when we're talking about ESOL staffing, that is a manifestation of that vision. That's sort of that's that mission. In order to achieve the vision of a school-wide equitable ELD model, you also have to understand that that mission in terms of how you achieve that vision involves effective utilization of staffing. So yes, being able to utilize your staffing clearly connects to your leadership realm in the area of vision and mission. Absolutely. Our effective use of staffing is also connected to the strategic planning leadership category. And so clearly we want to make sure that we are utilizing our staffing in a way that supports our school improvement goals that are EL centered. And this concludes our LSI Coffee Break for today. Please feel free to keep in touch with us. You can find us on social media, on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And you can also find me on the website, leadingforschoolimprovement.com. Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned for future coffee breaks.